This is Oasis Church Chicago. This is the story of the House of Oasis and how it has become a place that was once only a few individuals desperate to see God move in this city, turned into a community, or better yet, what we believe a family that is connected and called to connect others to the life-giving water of God's holy presence in this city. Okay, Pastor JP and Rachel, we know there are countless things to share in the story of Oasis, but in a few minutes, tell us how Oasis came to be the house that it is today.
Yeah, well, for me, it all started on a plane ride back from New York City. I thought I was going there to help plant a church, and on the ride back, we came through the clouds, and there was Chicago, and I really felt a deep sense of the Lord's presence say to me, I don't need you to go to New York. I want you to stay in this city and build my church here in Chicago.
Yeah, while all that was happening, I was in Kenya, thinking my life would be devoted to loving and building the rest of the world outside of Chicago, only to sense God tell me that the world was already in Chicago.
Yeah. So 2 years after we got married, we started to see the vision unfold. We began to have prayer meetings via Skype with a few friends that eventually became family, and we all decided to make the move up to Chicago to begin Oasis.
We did not have a plan, a building, or more than our small group of 7, but we started meeting anyway at a coffee shop with the only hope that we could connect others to Jesus.
When the Oasis community grew more and more, we outgrew that coffee shop and those apartment prayer meetings. We knew it was time for us to start looking for a space to have church weekly. And so God connected us to an amazing school in the city to begin Sunday night services, where we saw God orchestrate people coming into the doors and into relationships and begin to experience God's presence in the house. And so, to be honest, it wasn't the most practical way to have church. It was fun, but it was hard, and as any church plant knows, but it kind of looked like this. We'd go get the rental van, go load up the equipment, get to the school, unload, set up, have service, minister to people, pray with people, connect with people, load it all back into the U-Haul, get to the storage unit, unload, high five everybody, and just celebrate what God did in our midst, and just watch as the story of Oasis was unfolding in front of us. It was awesome.
Yeah, and then our first Christmas service, we started Kids Zone with just 1 kid. Our focus was creating a space in classroom as if we had 50. We never prepared for a number. We simply prepared for kids to come and encounter the presence of Jesus. We watched as we were faithful with 1 turn into so many other kids.
Sure enough, we outgrew that space. But this time we had nowhere to go afterwards. So we just called the church to begin to pray. And we were trusting and hopeful that God was gonna move and open up the doors. It was unsettling and chaotic in the time, but we just began to pray for weeks. And so one Sunday night, one of our visitors came, who's now part of the family, walked up to me, never knew him, and he said, JP, your prayers have been answered.
And he was not joking. Just a few weeks later, we started meeting at Lacuna Artist Lofts in Pilsen, the very place that man was talking about. And it was the neighborhood that we really felt God was calling us to.
There at Lacuna, we watched God bring more and more people into our services, into our Wednesday night prayer meetings. And slowly but surely, we were growing in all sorts of different directions.
O-Groups launched, Kids Zone grew as our families grew. We started connecting to our community with Love Chicago, and God just really moved and built more and more connections within the city.
In 2019, we were called to move again to a new space with a new opportunity to see God transform more people's lives with His love. Of course, all this happened just a few weeks before the global pandemic hit in 2020. And so in the midst of that time, while we were helping serve the city, helping families in need, and still presenting the gospel, the good news of Jesus to people, God challenged us. Jesus came and met us and encouraged us and spoke to us, and He just told us to begin to look at this whole work with fresh eyes. In the midst of all that we had seen already, He was calling us to go deeper as a church into the renewal presence of Him. And so we had time to let God rebuild this house, reframe the vision, reveal His plans even more to us. He called us not to just think how to get bigger as a body, but actually go deeper with Him, deeper into His presence, deeper as a people, deeper in discipleship to Jesus, a call to practice the way of Jesus and to be formed by Him and Him alone. Letting go of the kingdoms of the world and to be a people that bring loyalty to His name. We had a call to pursue His presence that would in return bring wholeness to His body, to this city. And in return, we would begin to experience even more of His heaven on earth.
We were called to have an even deeper impact in the city, in our neighborhoods, and being a people that would truly just bring his name glory among the streets of Chicago. Serving the city and seeing the broken and hurting come to wholeness in Jesus, a call to be a wellspring of life for all people. A call to be a place that connects people to each other and to the life-giving waters of God's holy presence. We are so thankful for people who are coming to the church now and building into the next phase. We believe that God is far from done working in and through this house, and that what is in front of us is a supernatural work of God's kingdom.